Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Your booty. This important public message has been brought to you by Inc. The Original, theoriginal.com. Welcome to the Roth Show.
Bro. I think I mistimed my acid. What time do the dead go on? This is very common stoner humor. But not all humor is truth dipped in sugar, okay? Or sweet and sour sauce. How many times have you heard about somebody mistiming their pill and they fell asleep before the main act went on? Or, right? It's like, dude, I saved my last joint, the last can of beer, or whatever it is. Man, the last candy bar, we saved the whole bucket of ice cream for the last part of the movie, and then we decided, fuck it, we're just going to eat the ice cream now, and we fell asleep before the car chase. I have whole parts of my career that are like that, okay? And mistiming your buzz or cultivating your buzz, which is something we certainly encourage here on The Roth Show. We're very realistic. Kids, don't drink and drive. But if you do, use Fountain Avenue. I actually got kicked off of a radio station for thinking that was public service, but I'm being very real, man. Keeping it real. Right here on The Roth Show. Oh, fuck. We're on daylight savings time. That's what's happening to me. But if it's happening to me, it's happening to me. Mistiming your buzz is a real common source of stoner humor until it happens to you on the 405 heading north, south, or whatever way you thought you were going. But now you're just left of the Hebrides Islands and whoa! Where the fuck even is the Hebrides Islands? Whoa! Why am I in a helicopter? Whoa! Like Jonah said, why am I in the whale? Because that's what's going to happen if you're drinking pot-infused beverages that taste sweet and great like iron brew. Ow! Can you imagine? You're going to drink enough iron brew and you're ready to go anywhere. You can drive from here to Tijuana and back, okay? That's like a long ride, but you don't care because you're brew strong, right? And somebody says, hey, this is pot infused, which they do not sell, nor do I recommend, but they're coming up with a whole lot of, I'm certain, really great flavored beverages that have pot in it. I know that Corona has invested something amazing, like $1 billion into pot-infused beverages. And I've seen when I go visit mom up at the retirement place like this, they've always got the food channel on. And I see that in the afternoons on the food channel, they're advertising refrescante or something, refresca, it's called. I'm using the accent because I paid for it over at Berlitz School, and God damn it, I'm using it. Not the Scotch one. That came from the Brute, I see the look, even with the glasses. Refresca, it means refresh, refrescante. The hand is mine, it doesn't come with the drink, okay? But the gang signs came with the glasses. That's not true either, but it should be. Refresca is probably kind of flavor that's going to happen when they put pot-infused stuff. You won't taste the pot, but you'll taste that real fine cucumber with the lime or the lime in the coconut. Or you put the lime in the coconut and drink them both up. Call the doctor, woke him up, said, Doctor, where am I? And he's going to say, well, shit, according to my GPS, you're somewhere near the Hebrides Islands, and who the fuck knows how you wound up in a helicopter. Last I looked, I was headed south with my paycheck and a Spanish dictionary. Came back, got an upside-down Mexican hula girl. There was boom, 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 boom. I mean, you can't hear the shit, but she's right in time, baby. Come here. Gotcha! Whoa! What's my point? And I like the way you think. My point is, when you drink booze, When you drink it by the shot or the sip or the can or the beverage or the glass, whether it's from France and it has an education and a lot of bubbles, tiny bubbles in Dave's spine. Yeah, French ones, baby. Okay, great. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Right there, Doc. Okay. Right, I come from a Budweiser generation. Cut me, Mick. Okay, but I'm dovetailing a lot of cultural that all sort of go together. I would imagine Rocky, the character, would have drank Pabst Blue Ribbon. Or the more interesting character, Burgess Meredith, is Cornerman. You're a spitting, greased lightning, tough-assed. That's Pabst Blue Ribbon kind of attitude. Is what wins World War II, Is there a place for war? Well, it solved Hitler. And if you're drinking alcohol, you can kind of pace it. Add a little, back off a little. You feel the effects very quickly. And you can moderate your buzz, okay? You can cultivate your buzz, kind of guide it along. It's like when we're in the helicopter. Nothing is stale, nothing's static. It's always moving, everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, everything. Your feet are moving. It's like a drummer, isolation. And you're moving and moving and moving. Give it a little, back off a little. Give it a little, back off a little. It's like love. It's either a little more or a little less, or it's never the same, okay? And when you're drinking any kind of alcohol, I don't care if it's a glass of wine at services at the church or whatever, or whether it's full blast tequila by the shot, frat house, jollies, or anything in between, you can moderate your buzz because you can tell where you are. And at some point, you won't be able to tell where you are, and your friends will hopefully be able to tell where you are and or drive you home. That's not going to be the case with pot-infused kinds of beverages because they're not going to detonate for an hour. And depending on what your diet is and what you did or didn't eat, that's going to happen at different times. 4 different people will drink the exact same bottle of whatever it is that has X milligrams. And because of the drink itself, does it have sugar in it? Does it have caffeine in it? I don't know. How's your body respond to coconut? Is it the same as the Eskimo? Because the Eskimo didn't grow up around coconut trees, and you did. And that shit does apply. How does your body adjust to citrus? Because if you didn't grow up around citrus, like Coco Joe the Eskimo, literally, then he's going to respond to the presence of lemon and lemonade very differently than you, who speak Spanish as a first language and grew up sitting under the lemon tree reading books. Okay, this makes perfect sense, right? Okay, just as when you're used to the ocean, you're more comfortable there. Okay, so when pot gets over on you a little bit, are you used to that? Or is this something new? And you thought you were just going to be at a beach bar and you were going to have a sip and knew where you were, and halfway down the path to your cabana, or mine, it detonates. Boom! And that's a recipe for difficulty. That's a real tough call, because I got to imagine that most people aren't drinking pot-infused beverages before breakfast, okay? I am, but not you. Do as I say, not as I do. And most people aren't drinking it at lunch because there's a workplace or a loved one involved, okay? Me, I know, I can feel you. You're thinking, Dave, you're young, you're handsome, it's all in front of you. What do you need with a loved one or a job? And I agree with you. I love the way you think. So I'm not beyond pot-infused beverages. I am not beyond pot-infused beverages, because who cares when that shit detonates when you dress like this at the workplace for a living? And I do. But most people don't. And somewhere in between where you're drinking recreationally, if you're going to the club or the bar or whatever, you want it to happen then. We think in finite resources, all right? And for me, honestly, Tom shared with me earlier that a fella was drinking microwaved water compared to a fella who was in the same study group who was drinking water that was not microwaved. Tom, remember you shared that with me?
I do recall.
Okay, and what was it that you told me about this? That somebody was drinking microwaved water and that, please.
Well, actually, it was a plant that was being watered with microwaved water and a plant that was being microwaved with fed with water that was just out of the tap.
Oh, that's even better. So
Yes.
let's reiterate that.
Yes.
It's a plant that was being fed microwaved water over a period of, say, months versus a plant, a daffodil, a daisy, a fern, whatever, that was being watered with water that had not been microwaved, right?
Right.
And the plant that had been fed with microwaved water died.
Correct.
That's accurate.
That is
correct?
accurate.
And I had said to you, I knew a fella who, over a period of years, drank Jack Daniels regularly, and that he died. And linear logic, and this is my focus right now here, would tell me that the individual who died from the Jack Daniels, linear logic would tell me, because all logic is colored by my own personal truth, is that there are microwaved ingredients in Jack Daniels.